Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a lovely low mileage Honda CR-V. This is a top of the range 2 litre EX petrol, and it's a manual car. The car's covered just 39,000 miles from new, and is in lovely condition. Full service history attached to the car. Finished in this passion red, which looks absolutely stunning in the flesh. It's one of those that never videos or photographs very well, but it is a gorgeous colour. Another really nice option fitted to this particular car. It's got the upgraded auto cruise control with the collision mitigation system. Really nice. So going to the front of the car, lights and lenses are clear and intact. There's no cracks or condensation in them. Bonnet is exceptionally clean, only a possible microscopic stone chip. Near side of the car, lovely and smooth on the panel work. Can't see any obvious indentations there at all. And paint's got that sort of lovely kind of luster to it that good paintwork has on cars when they're kept well. Come around the back, again all very, very clean and tidy. There's the offside. This is the driver's side of the car. Again, beautifully smooth in the panel work. It really is a very, very clean car. Not to say that won't be the odd minor mark on the car, obviously. Coming to the back of the car now, absolutely cavernous boot. And unlike so many CR-Vs, which are normally very heavily used, this one's been treated rather gently. It's coming on the passenger side and the rear here, absolutely enormous amounts of leg room. I'm not cheating because those front seats are set for me and I'm over 6 foot tall. And again, it's been kept really well for a car this age because they're normally very heavily used in the back. Coming in on the front, again, all lovely and clean. Passenger seat in really fabulous condition there. Finally coming on the driver's side, again, door card, very good. Footwell area is lovely and clean. Obviously there's a full set of original Honda mats in the car. And driver's seat for a car that's now 9 years old. It's in absolutely superb condition. So inside the car now, as always the engine's running, so the dashboard can be seen illuminated, and the dashboard's in beautiful condition again. Sat nav you can see working exactly as it should. Pop the car into reverse, get that lovely clear gridded parking camera. Come up to the dash binnacle here, hopefully you can see 39,291 miles. There are no warning lights on at all. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2 litre EX manual. This car is registered LG63KVK, and with a mileage of just 39,292 recorded. The reason we do all of our videos, and actually especially this road test section, is to ensure that if anyone is online looking at any of our cars, they get to see the very car we're advertising actually in operation. The reason we feel it's important is simple. It's because, like, so many people, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs and descriptions, only to get there and find out there's an obvious fault that shows up whilst driving the car. So hence that's why we do it. Also done on these very quiet country roads in this absolutely beautiful part of Gloucestershire, where we're very blessed to be based. So coming to the car itself, it's been very well maintained and is immediately obvious when you drive the car. Push button start on the top of the range car, engine starts instantly and settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other car for that matter. The engine's a typical Honda 4-cylinder engine in the sense that they build the best 4-cylinder engines in the world, bar none. And it's not just about reliability, it's not just about how they drive, it's about how it all comes together. First and foremost, they've been a Honda. They're tough, they're reliable, easily the best in that sense in its category. Cam chain driven, so there's no cam belts to worry about on them. But more than that, it's just the way they drive. They've got a lovely mechanical sophistication to them. It's a sweet engine, it's tractable, it will pull from very low revs. I'm currently doing 40 miles an hour and it's telling me to be in 6th gear, which it will do easily. There's no fluster or flutter to it at all. But they're quiet, they're civilised, they're very economical with just normal driving style, but a superb unit. The engine then feeds through into the gearbox and clutch. Sorry, I'm just going to make sure my phone's off. The clutch, as you'd expect with such a low mileage, is perfect. Bite point is exactly where it's meant to be, and it's lovely and smooth in operation. The gear change is typical Honda again. They do these things absolutely brilliantly because they want all the controls to have a really lovely mechanical, tactile feel to them. And that's everything, the pedals, the steering wheel, the buttons, but the gear lever notably because it's the one you're going to use most. So it's mounted in the perfect position, relatively high up. The angle or the plane in terms of change of direction is perfect. But more than any other car in its class, in my opinion at least anyway, it actually is a gearbox you enjoy using. You would happily sit in a much sportier car. It's kind of short in throw. With the gear lever, it's short in throw. It's got a beautiful quality of actuation to it. All the more remarkable because, like most transverse engine cars, the gear lever here is connected to the gearbox by cables, not by mechanical rods, if you like. But they still give you a beautifully resolved gear change there, and that feels exactly as it would have done when it was new, by the way. So all in fine fettle. Come to the steering and the chassis of the car. As I always point out, Honda, the CR-V is the best-selling SUV in the world, and there's a very good reason for it, because they drive so nicely. It's just so car-like, way ahead of its time. Only now have the other manufacturers realised actually that's what you need to give people. And it starts with the steering, which is beautifully weighted. It's obviously ever so easy at low speeds, it's effortless. But on the move, it's got a nice natural weight to it. But it's also precise, accurate, faithful. It tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to legal limit, actually. But it flows with the chassis, because the chassis, again, what they're trying to give you is a comfortable ride, which it is. It's a beautifully supple and well-damped ride. But when you go through the corners, and this road is a typical corner for this type of vehicle, so little B roads, yumps and bumps, changes of direction, what you get is it just flows. The body control is brilliant. Unless you're really driving at insane speeds, you get very little body roll. But it's brilliant for what they designed it to do. There's also absolutely no noises coming from underneath the suspension, no sort of rattles or clonks at all, so all as tight as a drum. I'm just going to get up to a little bit of speed. I'll give the brakes a bit of a shove as well, so it might be a bit glary with the sun in a second, so I do apologise. But this kind of is, they're obviously they're eminently capable as city cars. In fact, they're brilliant as city cars because they're just easy to place. But this is kind of their natural domain, and it's so the motoring press obviously quite often miss out on this kind of thing. They don't realise just how accomplished these cars are. Just give the brakes a good shove, make sure no one's directly behind me. There's a really nice, powerful brake pedal on the car. What I'm looking for in particular is any signs of pulsing from the brake pedal or any vibrations, and there's absolutely nothing at all. It's all fine there. Finally, coming inside the car, what videos can never get across, of course, is just how well built a car is, and these are brilliantly put together cars. There's no squeaks, no rattles, and it's a cold morning, so cold mornings tend to sort of exaggerate that, but there's nothing at all. It's also a lovely place to sit and drive a car because you've got fantastic visibility. So you feel very confident just jumping in and driving the car. Loads of people, when they come to see me, are worried about the CR-V, maybe if they're coming from a smaller car, being intimidating or hard to get on with, and then coming back and just to a man and a woman, all say the same thing. It was just so easy and nice to drive. and the visibility is very much part of that. So you're helped by these massive wing mirrors, which give you fantastic help on the kind of motorways and lane changes and that kind of thing. This car also has, as I mentioned in the walk-around video, the auto cruise control, which is brilliant. So just press the cruise control the normal way, but you've got a radar that will sense a car in front and slow you down. Also, it's got the collision mitigation, so it'll slam the brakes on if you go up behind a car too close, all those kinds of things. Everything's working. Sat-nav, dual zone climate control system, pumps out absolutely ice cold air, because we tried it in a nice warm workshop earlier on. All the switch gears, as I said, beautifully made. All the gauges, temperature gauge running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be. Instrument cluster is just simplicity itself to take the information in. It's just typical Honda in the way they've done it. Then you've got this lovely small diameter leather bound steering wheel, which feels absolutely fantastic in hand. This is a four-wheel drive version of the CR-V, albeit you don't do anything, it does it all for you. Basically, if the front wheels start to lose grip, it automatically brings in the rear wheels to give you four-wheel drive. And the advantages are obvious. By not being on the whole time, you're going to use less fuel, you're going to put far less mechanical stress through the car, and you get through your tyres far less quickly, so it's a win-win. It drives perfectly, cannot fault it in any way.